Cowboys beating the Washington football team and covering -3. I think Dallas looked very good against a good Minnesota. I'm not going to say a good Minnesota team, but they got a great offense. They got a somewhat good defense, but the offense, I mean, Thielen, Jefferson, Cook, and Kirk usually has Dallas' number, but not last week. So that was a crazy game. But yeah, I have the Dallas being the Washington football team covering -3. Ravens-Steelers game. Unfortunately, it got canceled because the coronavirus with everything with the players, and is now postponed to Sunday 4:00. But we'll give my prediction as is the Thanksgiving game anyways. I have the Ravens beating the Steelers and covering +6.5. I know the Ravens have been coming off 2 rough losses. I know Pittsburgh's undefeated and it's at Pittsburgh, but I feel like it's a trap game. I feel like Baltimore's definitely going to cover the spread, but I just have a feeling they're going to win that game. I know they have a lot of guys out, but if you look back at the game they lost to Pittsburgh early in the year, Lamar Jackson has 4 turnovers, and they only lose by 4 points. That's pretty remarkable on his part. I think if he has a clean, solid game, I think the Ravens beat him. But we'll have to see how it plays out. And then on to the Sunday 1:00 games. I got the Browns beating the Jaguars and covering -6.5. That's a really good game. Then I got the Cardinals beating the Patriots and covering -2.5. I think that the spread was a little weird on that. -2.5. I feel like the Cardinals would have been higher on the spread, which is a little surprising. But it's Belichick and the Patriots at home, so, I mean, that's how it is. Then I got the Bills beating the Chargers and covering -5. I got the Dolphins beating the Jets and covering -7. I got the Giants beating the Bengals and covering -5. I got the Panthers beating the Vikings and covering +6. Then I got the Raiders beating the Falcons and covering -3. And then the last for the 1:00 games, I got the Colts beating the Titans and covering -3. I think the Colts are an underrated team. I don't think they get enough credit. I think they could possibly win the Super Bowl this year if they keep playing good. Well, the main thing for the Colts is they need to get their red zone act together. They need to call the right plays in the red zone, and I think they could be one of those teams. So on to the Sunday 4:00 games. I got the Rams beating the 49ers and covering -7. 49ers are banged up. I like how the Rams are playing. They're showing me that they could be a top team in this league. I got the Saints beating the Broncos and covering -5. That game was hard for me because Melvin Gordon seems like he's back. I don't really trust Taysom Hill. He didn't have really that many passing yards. He didn't have any passing touchdowns, just 2 rushing touchdowns. But I think because Kamara and Michael Thomas were there, I had to go with the Saints in that one. Then I got the Buccaneers beating the Chiefs and covering +5.5. The Chiefs do not have a great defense. They do not have a great defense. I think the Buccaneers find a way to beat them, and they definitely covered the spread on that one. That's one of my favorite games this week, but I'm not going to take it because I don't want to go against the defending champs, but I do like the Buccaneers in that one. Then the Sunday night 8:20 p.m. game, I have the Packers beating the Bears, but the Bears covering +10. The Bears are horrible, but they have a great defense. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be, Trubisky or Nick Foles, but we saw the Packers against a spread like that against the Jaguars. They didn't cover, and I just think the Bears' defense, I think that's a home game for the Bears. I think they're going to get after Aaron a little bit. On to the Monday night 8:15 p.m. game. I got the Seahawks beating the Eagles and covering -5. I can't believe the spread's that low. I think the Seahawks just kill the Eagles. But it should be interesting. I just think the Seahawks are just a way better team than the Eagles. I think the Eagles got problems and personnel problems in that locker room and just the whole organization. So I really like the Seahawks. So let's go over Sean's top 5 hot picks. First, I love the Cardinals beating the Patriots and covering -2.5. Cardinals didn't look too sharp the week before, but I think they get after the Patriots and find a way to win. Especially, they can easily win by 3, and I think they do. Then I got the Raiders beating the Falcons and covering -3. Raiders look really good. We saw how they played against the Chiefs. Falcons last week looked bad. I just think the Raiders are a pretty solid team. I think the Raiders beat them -3. Then I got there wasn't 5 games I really liked, but if I had to pick between any, I went with the Rams beating the 49ers -7. I think with the 49ers being how beat up they are, I think the Rams starting to click it in and get wins together. I think the Rams beat the 49ers and cover -7. And then my favorite game of the week, honestly, I like the Seahawks beating the Eagles and covering -5. And then the last game for me, I like the Ravens beating the Steelers and covering plus 6.5. I've only gotten one Ravens game wrong this year on the spread, and that was the Chiefs game, which I think was a little bit of a shocker to everyone. But then if you look back at tape, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, I like the Ravens beating the Steelers and covering plus 6.5. So those were Sean's top 5 hot picks. If you're Ben, lock those picks in. Let's get into my NFL. Let's put this over here. Let's get into my NFL Week 12 power rankings. So number 1, it's been like this ever since we've been doing it. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 1. We don't really need to bring it up. The defense, the special teams, just everything, the coaching. They're a complete team, and they just keep finding ways to win. Number 2, not a surprise at all, the defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing really good right now. Tough win against the Raiders, but they got it done. Their schedule is kind of getting a little bit harder, but I feel like they squeak out against the Buccaneers. Well, I feel like the Buccaneers beat them. I feel like they get their second loss of the season. But they're still going to be the 2 spot. I mean, Patrick Mahomes and that offense is just really dangerous. And then number 3, a little surprising that I'm saying this, but you have to look at all the facts in the NFC. I got the Buccaneers at 3. Look at all the facts with the NFC. Green Bay, can't really trust them. Saints, Drew Brees is banged up. We don't know if he'll ever come back. And Seahawks, I need to see that defense play better. I mean, yes, they played better last week, but I need to see that defense be consistently good. So Buccaneers at 3 for me. I think they're the favorites going in the NFC. If Drew doesn't look where he was before, I don't think that they do, and I think the Buccaneers might go. At 4, team doesn't get enough credit. I brought them up already. The Colts, I got the Colts at 4. They're a great team. The only problem I have with the Colts is their play calling in the red zone. They could be killing teams right now if they made the right calling in the red zone. They need to work on that. They get that fixed out and that tuned out. I think the Colts could be competing with the Steelers and the Chiefs. And then at 5, I think I had the Packers. I mean, yes, they lost to the Colts. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers' fault. A little bit of bad play calling, I'm not going to lie. But the Colts can easily turn this around and prove that they are one of the top 4 teams in the league. But I feel they'll bounce it back this week. Very excited for what the Packers are going to do. At number 6, honorable mention, I got 2 teams because they're so even right now with the situations that are going on with the teams. It's the Seahawks and the Saints. Saints offense, I don't know if I can trust them without Drew. But then again, if you look at it, I don't know if Taysom Hill can get it done for them. And I don't know if Drew is going to be able to recover from the ribs and the punctured lung. But then when I talk about the Seahawks, you have to think about the defense. I'm tired of seeing Russell Wilson bail this defense out. I want to see the defense take up and start having responsibilities for that organization. But yeah, those 2 was a split for me for number 6 at honorable mention. It could go either way for me. That was it for my podcast today. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.